Good morning, everyone. We are working on a brand new project, and we're copying basically a greenhouse structure frame, and we're making it a mobile goat shelter. We got the framing, which is pressure treated lumber with corner bracing, cattle panels. There's 2 cattle panels because we don't have a large herd of goats, and they're being attached by large staples. And as you can see, we kind of have a board that they're resting on that keeps the metal up off the ground. And we've cut, let's see if I can show you here. Jim cut wedges in the wood so that if we hit a stump, hopefully that'll enable us to pull it up and over. And he angled underneath here for the same reason, so that it'll go up and over. And basically what we're going to do, we're going to add some frame along the walls here, which I'll bring you along for that process. And we're going to put a tarp over it. We don't have the tarp yet, so we're probably going to use one of our old tarps. But basically this is just to give them a place while they're out here, a place to run in if it starts raining. That's all this is for at this point. If for some reason we stop moving them around, like during kidding season, then this might just be an extra shelter for kidding or something. I don't know. I mean, the future is what's going to be. We'll use this in any way we can. And where we got the cattle panels is from where the hay barrel was. We broke that down because it's so muddy and mucky in there, they're not getting to the hay. So we put the hay actually in one of their shelters. The barrel is in a shelter now, so they can get in and out of the shelter, because we put the wood along the front of the shelter so they can move from shelter to shelter and not get into the mud and muck. There's not much we can do about the mud and muck right now because it's raining just about every day. So our solution is to actually get them out of that area like we're doing, and getting them up to higher ground where there's no hay buildup, there's no manure buildup, and they have fresh forage. And the forage, we can already see improvements in the herd since we got them out here in the woods. And yeah, he's upset. The girls went out further than he likes, but he's right here. That's Picasso. And the girls are all out there. They usually don't stay out long. They eat a little bit and come back in. They're getting a little cranky. There's a lot of headbutting going on today. So I'm not sure if we got some heat cycles starting or what. Definitely getting cranky. Alright, we'll bring you back for the next phase. Alright guys, the final results of the mobile goat shelter. We did get these uprights done. It's several days later because we had stuff come up. I had a birthday. I got an amazing new addition to the homestead for my birthday. And no, it's not a goat. I will share with you that in another video, so stay tuned. But basically what we did here, we propped the ends up and we screwed these boards from the bottom up. And then we finished the build. And you got side supports here. And we put them at a height on this end with the thought of maybe doing another one down here at the same height, so that we can actually put a shelf in here so we can get goats up off the ground. And then we have room underneath the shelf, underneath the shelf here on the ground for the goats to lay. And that increases how many goats this shelter can hold. And if down the road this ever turns into a greenhouse, then we have the shelf already in place to use for putting seed starts on. But here's a view from this side. The sun is just now getting higher up in the trees. So you can see there's a little bit of an arch. It's not perfect. We're not carpenters. We don't claim to be. But it is a shelter that has served us well for the few days that we've already used it. And you see we have the corner braces in all 4 corners to help keep it square and stable. Our cattle panels are only wire tied, but if you look down here, you can see where how the staples are done. We done some on the uprights, some on the verticals. Hi. Say, I like my shelter. Say, it could be a little bigger, but yesterday it downpoured and they all got in here, so and I really want to close this off with a tarp. So if they're in, the rain will come this way generally, and that's the purpose of that, so that we can get the rain stopped right there, or we'll have to turn it to the side so the rain hits one of the sides. But the nice thing with the way it sits now, I can see the goats have come into the shelter, because I usually see them from the house just by looking for the butts in this doorway. This is not the same as the other end, because this would be the very back of the shelter if we ever finished it as a permanent shelter. Permanent mobile, I don't know. And we did add this brace up here, and that's to keep this from sagging, but it'll also help stabilize in any high winds we might get. And we do get high winds here. Now, it is a bit heavy to move. It does take both of us to move it, but the fix to that is to add some wheels on it, and we are talking about doing that. Yes, do you hear that? That is Trident. He is unhappy right now, and I'll have to show you why. And here's the outside. We used an old tarp. It's just a run-in shelter. They're not sleeping in here at night, so nothing is 100% perfect. It's just to give them a place to get out of the rain. If we're not home and it rains, they would be exposed to the rain. And to be honest, they hate rain. So this gives them a place to go. They've been dragging this wood. They get into this brush pile and then they're dragging it out. Crazy. But look at the difference back here, guys. This is almost done. I'd like to see them eat some more of the saw palmettos. And they will. They've already eaten some of it. But that looks like the only thing left to eat in this pasture, which means it's time for a pasture move. If you look really closely, you can see that fence all the way through. And I can actually see it all the way across the back. So the next pasture move will be that patch right there. And that enables us to keep them in the secure area at night without a lot of hassle. We'll just run the fence from the corner there across, and we'll actually use the path. There's a path right here. We'll go down and around the back and back up. So that's the game plan. That'll happen probably in the next day or two. There's no point putting them in a pasture with no food. But keep in mind, these guys have already been fed. They got their peanut hay this morning. They have access, thanks Simba, it's peeing right in front of me. They still have access to some greens. It's not a lot, but it's still there. And they have water all day. Yes, look guys. You see what's going on here? There's a fence between them and their mommies. And the reason was right there. Both him and Titan are now with Picasso. Picasso's right there. Nope, back there. Anyway, he started mounting and extending, so we had to pull him. He's getting a little on the bucky side, and we don't want him to get anybody pregnant. He is not scheduled for breeding till next year. And next year he will go to whatever babies are old enough. Well, probably not. Probably the year after. We'll have to play it by ear. Maybe he'll go to Nala and Simba next year. But this year is Picasso's turn. So we're figuring every other year for breeding, him and Picasso, until we decide to maybe bring in a fresh buck again. But that's our game plan. If all goes well, that's what we're looking at. Hey, Mama. Hey, Mama. That shelter is really nice. Are you going to nibble on me? Are you going to nibble on me, huh? Silly girl. And I'll give you a peek at Miss Trinity's colors are changing. She's getting more of a bigger, darker saddle right through here. You see the line. She's probably going to go tan here like her mama, and she'll be Snow White here, but she's definitely getting some more colors to her. What do you think, little lady? Everybody's doing good. Oreo, look how small. Her udder is drying up. That is a huge win for me. She's like a bucking bronco to milk. Everybody's doing good. The boys do not get to nurse all day, but they will get to nurse tonight because I do put them with their mom for the night. So that is happening. And Here's another shrinking udder. Yay! Say, it's time for you to have a break. Say, you have to put a little more weight on for me to be happy. Yeah, see, she's a little on the thin side, but her bones are not showing, guys. It's just right in here. She needs to put a little weight on. And look at her. This is Trilly. This was the one I was so worried about. She was skin and bone, but she's looking so good. Her backbone is totally gone now. No ribs showing. And she has the typical dairy goat look right in this area, but she's doing good weight-wise. We hadn't planned to breed her this season, but with her weight recovering, her health is really good. I'm thinking that might change. Yes, sweet girl. She's my sweet girl. She's a real sweet baby. For someone to neglect these goats the way they had, they missed a lot of love opportunities. Hey, sweet baby. Yes, you're just a sweet girl. Oh, say, are we jealous? 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 Huh? Are we jealous? This is the way to have goats, guys. Sweet babies, sweet mamas. Say, sweet babies, sweet babies. Look at those ears. Oh my gosh. But then look at their ears. Huge ears. All right, guys. That's the final update on the goat shelter, the mobile goat shelter. And the only thing left to do is throw a couple wheels on this thing and we'll be able to move it. Now, when we shift the pasture, which will be in the next couple days, we will probably pull this right in here, because the fence is gonna come around here, so this whole section can still be included. And you can see how nice and dry this area is, so it's working out really good for these girls. All right, guys, that's it for now. Look, they're consoling him. She's got more mama instincts than anybody, but this little man soon needs to go in with these guys, and I hate to do it because he's still so small. Because I think mama's milk is probably the best thing for them to keep growing. But he's actually older than these two by maybe a week or two. But he's not showing any signs of interest in girls yet. But it's just a matter of time, and then he'll go in here. And his mama could use a break. Yeah, say, I could use a break. Yeah, but she's doing good too. Body condition is good. She's actually looks real full in here, so she's been eating good this morning. And Nala, she's still in milk. Her udder looks small because I milked her out really good this morning. And she will refill by tonight, but you can see she's got a little belly. And she's nice. Her bones are all hidden under the flesh the way it's supposed to be, so she's doing good. What do you think, Nala Bean? Huh? What do you think, Nala Bean? Are you flirting? Are you flirting? Oh, she's such a big flirt with these boys, especially him. Mr. Picasso is doing fantastic. As long as he can have a fence between him and the girls, he's content. Otherwise, he screams bloody murder. And he is a screamer. I know, sweet pie, I know. I sat with you a little bit this morning. This actually calms down. They just got moved out for the day, and he'll calm down, and they'll end up just laying up against the fence or going out here. They got plenty of greens in here for the few goats that are in here for foraging. Alright, guys. Hope you enjoyed the goat video. Take care, and God bless.